Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. You remember that? Do you remember that?
I do. We're kind of, what is that called? You're dating yourself. Yes, we are.
Yeah. That was somewhere in the 70s. Welcome back, Cotter. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, we are dating ourselves. This is in DC. Note the puppy right here. Note the puppy on the couch. Yeah, that was what we find out is a sonic boom caused by fighter jets that were responding and scrambling to intercept an unresponsive Cessna citation flying over DC, which ended up crashing. As we see NORAD making the statement, civilian aircraft intercepted approximately 3:20 Eastern Time. Pilot was unresponsive, and the Cessna subsequently crashed near the George Washington National Forest in Virginia. Yeah, that's, I guess, it was probably somebody that died suddenly.
I'm sure he was just up to date on all of his medical issues.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but people are acting really weird out there. They are acting really weird. I mean, I saw we were behind somebody that was driving crazy. They went down the middle aisle, the middle part of the lane. They had one half of the car on half of, the right half of the road, half on the wrong half for like a mile. And then they're almost flying off the road. And, it's just crazy. And then I saw people in the grocery store that were blocking lanes with their carts, totally oblivious, blocking the checkout, totally oblivious to anybody around them. And what Cindy's picking up on is these are nanu that's being activated.
Yeah, when I kind of read into those energy fields, there's a lot more reaction that's going on between the human body and our technologies. So there's a lot more nanotech being ingested, and with that nanotech, it's almost making people not really there, kind of zombified a little bit, which is concerning.
It is very concerning because we just seen so much chaos. Now maybe it's because we've been on the road so much lately, doing the thing, getting our location shifted. And we're just seeing a lot more people than we usually do, because usually we don't see hardly anybody. The mail guy, maybe the UPS guy, that's about it. But man, people are just like, they just seem brain dead out there. They seem like they're on autopilot and it's not functioning properly.
No, I know. And I've seen this before, but not as often. It feels like more and more of a daily occurrence where people are just kind of like on this weird autopilot thing, and they're not really understanding or knowing. And you can even look at them and you can feel that absence of them. It's like, that's the best I can explain it. It's the absence of them being there.
Yeah, they're like a shell. They're not really there anymore. It's what it feels like. So here you have Jen Stoltenberg saying Ukraine's going to join NATO immediately after the onset of the counteroffensive. Now, of course, NATO has that little statement that says an attack on one is an attack on all. And obviously, if they join NATO, Russia's attacked Ukraine, then that means, the obvious conclusion would be outright declaration of WW3. That's really what you would be talking about here. Key indicator that the counteroffensive is about to happen. Mine-clearing operations underway in the Zaporizhzhia front. Recon by fire assaults by Ukraine, which saw no success. Heavy losses underway. Signaling by low OPSEC Petraeus. Discord down. Don't laugh. Yeah, how close? Again, what I feel and what I felt is like they're waiting for the astrological timing to be right. So I feel that they're going to wait for Pluto to shift back, which is the 11th. And it's constantly felt like it's a little bit of an Empire Strikes Back move that's going to happen. And I'm hoping it's not the big one. I hope it's not that we're in full-fledged WW3, which what I mean by that is direct confrontation, U.S., U.K. forces completely directly engaging with Russia, and China, obviously, and many other nations are going to be involved in this too. So, hopefully we have a little bit more time, because we all can always use more time to prepare. I mean, if you knew that you were in Poland right before Poland was invaded, and, say you were given knowledge that it was going to happen like a week away, I think a lot of people would have done things differently. I think they would have, just prepared more. And so it's so obvious this is coming. And, I still see some comments where people say, oh, the war's not going to come. And I really can't understand where their head is. I really can't understand it. Unless they're maybe people that are much younger than me, and haven't been history buffs and haven't looked deeply into everything that's gone on that has happened in this world. Oh yeah, I mean, loosh is a real thing, and there truly is enemies of humanity that feed off of humanity's pain and suffering.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one thing you can definitely count on is there will be change. The world that you live in today is not going to be the same as tomorrow, and every day forward.
Absolutely. Polish Volunteer Corps have published pictures that show that they participated in the first armed raid into Belgorod. Well, what's the big deal with that? That's in Russia. So, here you go, together with the Russian volunteer corps, which are trying to, work up a rebellion in Russia. So, this is the type of thing that would, in other times, lead immediately to an attack, a declaration of war. And that riled up Rama a little bit in the background. This would be enough in some instances to have, a Russian strike on Poland come. And we don't want that, of course. Again, when you look at this and you look at the tribal history going way back, everybody is so interbred, and you're all cousins here, just like we could look to the U.S.'s Civil War. You literally had cousins fighting, brothers even fighting sometimes. It's insanity. War is murder that's sanctioned by the state, but it's still murder.
And they make up these laws and rules of engagement where it makes it okay to do it certain times, and it's just never okay. We should never allow ourselves to be pitted against one another. And that lies with each and every one of us. We all have a decision to make, and you do not have to do something that harms another human being. There's nothing saying that you absolutely have to. So I think responsibility, we really need to turn it on ourselves more and more.
So you have Polish soldiers participating in raids into Russia. You have Cuban soldiers over in Belarus training. This is obviously going south. It's just a matter of when it all gets triggered. And, again, Venezuela is part of this as well. Nicaragua. Yeah, it's massive. This war is going to involve dozens of countries. And it's going to affect everybody on the planet to some degree. And I think part of what it is like we have not had war on U.S. soil. And I think that's maybe one of the things that makes U.S. citizens think, well, war's never going to happen. Just because you haven't seen it in your life doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. We don't want it to happen. The race is to wake up as many people as possible. That's the challenge. Shoppers run for cover, multiple shots fired inside North Star Mall, and this is in San Antonio. There's been so many mass shootings, and if people partake in that 420 substance, they're going to be banned from the Second Amendment rights. But my point has always been, okay, whatever, usually people don't get violent when they do that type of substance, but there are a lot of substances that are completely legal that can make people very violent, very, very bipolar, manic, dangerous, and they're perfectly legal. And, that's the first thing. Anybody that is somebody that does one of these mass shootings, take a blood test and see what's legal that's in their system. And no, they won't do that. They won't do that. No, that's too much of a part of the biggest plan that's underway there. WHO Pandemic Treaty, here we go again. So you see this chair, Dr. Abdullah Asiri, says the world requires a different level of legal mandates to navigate through pandemics should they occur, prioritizing actions that may restrict individuals' liberties. So in other words, telling you in plain sight, of course, because of the new legislation, WHO, WEF, they're not elected by anybody. Well, they're selected by the power structure. Yeah, they're telling you in plain sight that, if they tell you you're getting an ouchie, they're going to probably force you to get an ouchie in one way or another. And we've seen what that's done. So, there's many of us that would say, no way, no how, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances. There's no circumstances, ever. I don't care. If you hear that click, it's okay. No, never. How can anyone claim dimming the sun when they spray at night? They spray at night. Check, these grid patterns. The one thing I want to bring up about this is I can't tell you how many people are waking up to the reality of the spraying. Now, some people are saying that now they don't believe the sun is a star. They don't believe that the earth is round, and they're going to the extreme. So I guess they think that we're just living on an alien ship. That must be their conclusion, because what else would it be if the earth is flat, the sun's not real, space is fake, and stars aren't what they're supposed to be. They're little lights in the dome. So, I guess they just think that we're already living in an alien ship. UK, suck it up, taxpayers. The CONS piracy theorists, right? Again, yeah, they're doing a trial on universal basic income. Again, and then you're not going to be able to save money, and whatever you don't use it just disappears because it's not real in the first place. Again, this is Slavery 101 that we're watching. And we shouldn't be surprised. Oh, look at a meeting of Freemasons. Hey, isn't that, the Crypt Keeper, before she started looking like the Crypt Keeper when she was still a little human, before she sold her soul.
I know, and things are not going to change. And what's really bothersome to me is, even if we were all to stand up and you go to your legislation's office, call your representative, do this, do that. It's like nothing really matters. It just doesn't. Go ahead and throw a fit. They're going to keep marching forward regardless of how much energy we expend. And I think it's very much a waste of time to try to deal with the government on any comparative level where they might actually be fair. It's just me.
No, it's all about keeping humanity down, and they play good cop, bad cop. So here's the good cop, Elon. WEF is increasingly becoming an unelected world government that people never asked for and don't want. Then why did you hire one of their peeps to run your show here at Twitter? Oh, talk about the double speak. Come on, well, they think we're all pretty stupid. That's the bottom line. They think that we're just totally stupid little sheeple. But as we see, people are rejecting them. You will eat the bugs. No, we won't. You could stick them up your nose. Yeah, we're not going to eat no bugs. Again, chitin causes an inflammatory response. This is something that's in insects. This is something that's in, shellfish too, to a degree, and why some people have really bad allergies to shellfish. And, this would be another thing that would just speed up, quicken humanity's demise. And it's also a little bit of just showing that air of superiority, as anti-WEF is, literally in a day went from 85,000 to 100,000 people following on Twitter. The world is waking up. And we had this discussion with, I don't know who it was we were talking about this with, but saying that's great, absolutely great. This is exactly what we need, but it makes the world situation even more dangerous. Mm-hmm. It really, really does. So a little puppy yoga, mind, body, breath is so important. Get some cardiovascular exercise. Exercise your muscles. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. But mind, body, breath, don't forget about that. Let go of the tension, because, this is a tense world.
And that's one comfortable little puppy, and we can all just sort of channel that energy right now. Take a deep breath, become self-sufficient, get yourself healthy, make some good friends, people you can rely on, people that can back you up, and we're all gonna be fine.
Yes, again, thank you for your love and support. We appreciate you guys. Stay safe. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.